What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekend astrology forecast for the weekend of September 3rd and the 4th of 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Astrologer Sterling Scarborough is here as well. Hope you had a great week. Let's take a look at this weekend astrology. I'm going to pull it up. We'll see if you can actually see it or not, but I'm going to give you a horoscope either way. Sun's coming into 11 degrees on Saturday to kick off the weekend. Venus is going to start finishing up in Leo this weekend. So that Venus in Leo is so potent with Regulus. So we're definitely going to be feeling that. And with the moon here in Sagittarius, which is going to make that first quarter square to the sun in Virgo, it is that mutable square here. So we're definitely trying to feel into the positivity, kind of like in some ways check our inner beliefs about reality right now, about our daily life, certain things that need to be purified. So there is a little bit of tension here about like, okay, I want to create, I want to mold things the way that, they're going to fit best, the way that things make sense, but then we're kind of all over the place. So we're at this kind of like, we need to consolidate, we need to dial things up in a precise way, but we also don't want to be, restricted to do things a certain way. So we're trying to come to some happy medium today through our feelings of expanse, but making sure that we're building routine around the really creative, self-actualized aspects of life right now that fit into whatever reality we're trying to be in. It's a weird reality with Uranus, North Node, and Taurus. It's not like the same fixed setup that have always been so used to. So it's just like, gosh, we can stress ourselves out here if we restrict ourselves, but we can stress ourselves out too if we're not kind of living in our happiness and finding the creative elements that do light us up, that do bring us joy and happiness. That's what's going to make us feel like a queen or a king this weekend, especially on Saturday. And then, with Mercury here in Libra, it's getting really close to a retrograde. That's going to be on the 9th. It's really slow. It is just starting to pull off the opposition to Jupiter. So it's almost like we kind of could understand through weird circumstances in life, like where the big picture's going, but we're still kind of having to look at it from a singular sort of Aries point of view of like, okay, like this is what's going to bring me happiness. This is where I can like believe in my own courageous nature to kind of get things started, to get things cleaned up, to get things going. And then also with Mercury here in Libra, we're a little passive and kind of trying to figure out the other side of the situation, which makes it difficult because it brings up conversation, of course, and it brings up debate. And the debate is so important right now, and especially with Mars here in Gemini getting ready to enter shadow this weekend at 8 degrees of Gemini. It's a big moment with that trine over to Mercury that we're staying very curious. And also the moon in Sagittarius is going to oppose that Mars. So it's definitely tense. I feel like, and Mars is starting to square the sun, so well, that already happened, of course, but there is some T-squared energy to this Virgo. It's a little wide here, but whoa, geez, take it easy. Take it easy here. I'll clear this for you so you can start drawing fresh again. There you go. Don't touch that. No. Thank you. Oh, that's how it goes. Things get touched. So things get touched, things get taken out of order, and we can't stress ourselves out and freak ourselves out and go aggro when some little thing doesn't go our way or some little thing that we're going to have to readjust. I feel like we're in an adjustment this weekend where you'll find so much happiness if you can not let things just upset you that don't need to be upsetting. It's like, okay, I'm going to have the chance here to reconfigure. It's a very like reconfiguring weekend where we want to reconfigure to whatever the purity, and especially Saturday with the moon opposite Mars, like what keeps us open, what keeps us curious, and what keeps us feeling like change is not only possible, not only happening, but something that we're kind of excited for and have that warrior essence to go through and to go experience. I feel like this weekend's a lot about the experience, and not letting things get you too worked up or too stressed out, and to not, definitely don't get too dogmatic because someone doesn't believe the same thing as you or have the same truth or value. Like, this is just where you got to make sort of that understanding with Mercury here in Libra. Like, you got to justify what's in alignment with you. Some things are not going to be there. Maybe we have to figure out how to make those cuts in a somewhat responsible way. As we look at Sunday, we're going to see the sun come to 12 degrees. The moon's done with that, but it is going to trine over to Venus on Regulus in the galactic center at that late degree of Sagittarius. So, Sunday's definitely special. Like, there's a regalness to Sunday. There's something about, like, you really want to open things up. You really want to see how creative you are and what that can bring into your life. And I think that there's something very special about that. And I think that even with the moon in square to Neptune early in the morning on Sunday, it's like there's definitely divine sort of codes coming through the intuition. It's been a very intuitive time that we've been dealing with lately. And with that moon also going to sextile over to Saturn, I think we're ready to kind of step up for these things. It's almost like we're consolidating to expand and to make good change and responsible change for our life. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You did a great job. Right? And then that moon's going to come into Capricorn by the end of the night, in the afternoon on Sunday as well. And I think that, again, this is bringing some grounding. It's almost like we're going to need it. We can go a little far this weekend. It's definitely, it is a holiday weekend, but I don't know how far we're going to want to escape. I feel like there's too much reality-based stuff. It's not a good time to escape anywhere that isn't spiritual, anywhere that isn't with the divine. I feel like that energy is going to bring a lot of clarity when a lot of other things are going to show no clarity. And I think that we need to be careful not to get worked up over these things, but to really pay attention at the same time so that we can make the justified, diplomatic approach to how to bring happiness, love, and cleanliness actually into our life.
I'm done.
Me too. Me too, buddy. So, I hope you have an amazing weekend. I think it can be a little tense, but it's also opening things up in a big way. So it's a very opening weekend. It could be very heart opening. It could be very diplomatic in that sense, where we're just realizing we can't make everything externally a happy place. And it's just about your internal space and that being open to
You like my drawing?
the abundance. I loved your drawing. And to the adventure of the life this weekend. All right, these jumped out. What do we get? The 9 of Swords. Yeah, I don't think we want to, escape this weekend. I think we do want to be pretty sober. I mean, have your fun. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but this card kind of reminds me of just careful how far you go. We're kind of meant to be clean right now. We're kind of meant to expand on the more tangible, spiritual essence of life and not just the escape from maybe the stress, but actually dealing with things. And then we got the Tower card after that. These jumped out right when I cut the deck. It's funny getting those cards one after another. It's kind of rough energy that the tarot's throwing out. So, there could be things that get us very worked up, have us feeling like we got to do something crazy. We don't have to go crazy. We don't have to freak out. I think it's a big test of just our own sort of emotional maturity in a lot of ways, to not go too far and beyond and lose it, but to stay present and to stay pure and to stay I'm regal and I got this, and hopefully not be a king or queen that abuses power or goes off and does something crazy because they get upset, but to really try and think about the right move for our lives that might be a Tower moment, but at the same time it doesn't have to be the down and out. I'm almost forcing trouble into our lives, if you will. And we're going to finish with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. This is like, I feel like we have to realize, no matter where we're at in life too, is that we're not some poverty case. We're not, left out in the cold, that we actually have what we need, that we don't need to think about the external things that we could want or desire so badly. But if things are showing up exactly as they're meant to be right now, and I think we need to internally realize we have what we need and we're good to go. This is going to open doors. This is going to expand different areas of your personal life in a big way. But it's tense this weekend in a sense that we can think we're not enough, or that we don't have enough, or that we'll never get what we want. And those things will lead you off a cliff you don't want to go off of. And usually I'm the one that says, when you look at the cliff, you got to jump. Because I like to jump off cliffs. But this weekend, it's an interesting, weekend of kind of feeling like we want the freedom to do what we want, to jump off any situation, or to, get into anything that's out there. But at the same time, is it the responsible move? Does it make sense? Is it fair? Are we being fair? Are we living life in a completely way that's not fair? And are we playing the victim to that? Or are we empowering ourselves, especially with Venus here finishing up in Leo and on Regulus and getting ready to come into fall position in Virgo, where it doesn't want to be, but it will share mutual reception with Mercury, which will start going retrograde here soon. So, and be on Regulus exactly at 0 Virgo. So we're having to be very particular with what our values are, because those are the things that are changing, and we got to consolidate and not freak out because we can't have some dumb purse or some dumb thing that is that even going to have value? And are we really going to take ourselves off the cliff? Or for some, relationship that isn't showing just love back all the time? I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you all for Monday's horoscope. Much love. Peace.